Unless there is more bravery to stand up for what is fair and right, Christianity will perish. Well, hello internet. Your father has finally returned from buying milk, even though it's been like 3 years later. But you know, it was a long journey to get that milk and stuff like that. And while I was on that journey to buy my milk and my cigarettes, I decided to go on Facebook, and I saw that there was this massive freak out by like super conservative Christians about the opening ceremonies of the Olympics, and boy did I eat well. It's honestly been so fun to see the complete freak out by these people. They're just having a complete and utter meltdown. It's like a complete and utter Chernobyl-like meltdown. It's really beautiful to watch. I thought that this would be a perfect opportunity to make a video, maybe make a comeback, we'll see, depending how busy I am. But yeah, so let's jump into this video and let's look at the deranged posts from these people about the Olympics. Kevin Richardson quoted the following from the Christian Bible. Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall for the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. Galatians 6, 7, whatever. And then Hannah Justice quoted that scripture with the following. I never see any other religion being mocked like ours is. To truly be inclusive to all different walks of life, religion needs to be left out of global events like this. I'm not political. I'm just a girl who loves Jesus and loves people. Respect goes a long way, and no matter who you pray to, I think we can agree that this is distasteful and disrespectful. What these super conservative Christians are especially getting angry about is these drag queens that they thought were replicating the Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. And you know, the Last Supper is about the final supper of Jesus Christ. But they were replicating a completely different painting. It was a Feast of the Gods. It's a painting that illustrates a massive party by the Greek gods. And you know, the Olympics is Greek games, so obviously it makes sense why Paris would want to replicate a painting like that to you know, honor the Greeks for this massive sporting event that the whole world partakes in. But like most Christians, Hannah here thinks that Christianity is the only religion that exists and is the only religion that matters. Not like that there's been a billion religions throughout mankind, especially old ones, like for instance old Greek mythology with old Greek gods. No, Christianity is the only one, and it's the only one that can be mocked. Bugger Muslims getting mocked, bugger Buddhists getting mocked, only Christianity gets mocked. Cillian tweeted the following. At the opening ceremony of the Olympics, we've had drag queens mocking the Last Supper. Once again, they were replicating Feast of the Gods. A decapitated head singing. No, I think that decapitated head is supposed to be Maria Antoinette, who was a noble that got beheaded during the French Revolution. It's just a little something that France is famous for. It's not like a massive thing that had worldwide implications. The French Revolution was just a tiny little thing. It wasn't like peasants who were rebelling against the nobility that were taxing them to death or anything like that. No, it's just it's got to be evil, you know. A bearded woman dancing provocatively. I mean, I wasn't really paying attention to that. But to be honest, I didn't even actually really see the opening ceremony because you know I'm in the southern hemisphere, so this shit was busy playing at very odd hours, and I have work. I got a full-time job. I can't sit here watching opening ceremonies. I gotta go get that bread. Basically, the only reason why I know about even the opening fucking ceremony is because of the reaction to it. And a bearded woman dancing provocatively is one of the least weird things the French have ever done. When it comes to artistic pursuits and that, the French are fucking weird. Have you seen French horror movies? It's genuinely like one of my favorite like subgenres of horrors, just because of fucking mental and weird it is. Like one of the best movies I've ever seen and probably never gonna watch again is a movie called Titanic, where a serial killer gets impregnated by a car, and in order to hide from the police, she pretends to be a victim and moves in with that victim's family. It is such a bizarre movie, and she's fucking pregnant with a fucking car. I mean, this is the kind of shit that the French are just known for. They are known for being weird. The tweet continues. A naked Smurf with erection. Once again, that's supposed to be the god Dionysus, you know, the god of partying and wine and shit from the Greek mythology. So yeah, I don't notice an erection because once again I don't watch the ceremony. And if you were focusing on the Smurfs erection, I think that says more about you than the whole act. So you might want to take a deep look into yourself and see why that's offending you and why you're focusing so much on an apparent erection. They want children to see this. We are fighting Satanists and pedophiles. No, there is like no war happening between Christians and Satanists. I don't know where you guys are getting this whole thing. I don't know where you get this whole idea that the media is filled with Satanists and pedophiles and they're trying to force this disgusting lifestyle upon you. It makes no sense to me. And no, there's no forcing children to see this at all. And I mean, there's nothing pedophilic about this at all. Lewd, yes, but once again, the French have no qualms about this. This is one thing that Americans don't understand. I think the whole Western attitude towards nudity and sexuality is as conservative as them, and it isn't. The French are super relaxed when it comes to things like this. They just relax. They don't care about this shit. So no, and there's nothing satanic about this whole opening ceremony. There's nothing at all. This is just the French being fucking French, and illustrating the history of the Olympic Games. Not everything that you disagree with is satanic and pedophilic. I mean, if you want to fight freaking pedophiles, maybe look at your church first, because it seems like most religious institutes, especially the Christian faith, are filled to the brim with pedophiles. A big fat nope on the Olympics. Not at all. I'm not triggered. I just refuse to become numb to the blasphemous. Jesus is precious to me, and the spirit of this age will not have my participation in the mockery. We just refer to Jesus as the. I mean, this is probably the most left-wing freaking Christian I've ever seen. Applying a non-binary pronoun to Jesus. I mean, we definitely live in interesting times here. And once again, I didn't see anywhere in the Olympics Jesus being mocked. So I don't know what deluded fantasy you're living in, but yeah, Jesus was definitely not mocked at the Olympics. You're just assuming that based on your own lack of knowledge on arts and your media literacy. Genie had the following to say: for those who think that openly mocking Christianity, while simultaneously demanding respect for their beliefs, is remotely in any fashion okay, you should unfriend me. You're not my people, and quite frankly, I'm not yours either. Never mind the fact that the Olympics is not the place to dabble in political ideologies, certainly not at the forefront, but carelessly disrespecting any religion on the world stage is absolutely disgusting to me. And yet, despite such evil, I will still pray for you, for them. God, this world needs so much more of you. The Olympics not being a place to dabble in political ideologies, that is a very interesting take, because that tells me you got like no idea on history, because countries have been sanctioned from partaking in the Olympics due to war crimes and such like that. For instance, in my country, South Africa, we were banned from partaking in the Olympics for a good while due to apartheid. That is a political ideology, so they've clearly dabbled in it before. There's talks about banning Russia and Israel from partaking in the Olympics because of the war crimes and genocides and stuff like that. So the Olympics has always been sort of a bit of a stage for political ideology. I mean, that's the most civil way we can have war with each other. And the LGBTQ plus community are not a political ideology. There's really nothing political about them. They are just people wanting to be treated like human beings, to be loved, to be respected, to have rights just like you and me. They just want to live their lives in peace. That's not a political ideology. That's just humans wanting to be humans. The only reason why you think it's a political ideology is because conservatives and Christians have made this whole thing political when it's never really been political. You guys have been snowflakes on the matter of people just wanting to live their lives in peace. And I don't think the world needs more of a God that seems to be very hateful. The same God that wants to smite people and flood people. And I think we're good. We it's a bit chaotic at the moment, but I think we're good. We're in a better state than we were under your God, apparently. So that is all I can take for religious conspiracies and religious wingbats just going insane over the opening ceremonies. So let's just clear our minds, take a look at people, giving a more thoughtful look into it, a more educated look into it. Okay, this person copied a text from someone who was more educated on the matter. Dearest gentle reader, I'm about to step on some toes in regard to the opening ceremony at the Paris Olympics. The headless woman was Maria Antoinette. She ruled over France and was found guilty of treason, conspiracy, and stealing from the country. Sound familiar? Also, it was not the Last Supper. It was a depiction of an ancient Greek bacchanal. Because you know, the Olympics are ancient and Greek. Surprise! And if you don't know, a bacchanalia is an uncontrollably promiscuous, extravagant, and loud party. The parties often spanned several days which honored the god of wine, Bacchus, the blue guy covered in grapevine. He's also known as Dionysus, the Greek god of fertility, later known as the god of wine and pleasure. And finally, it was not death on the pale horse, it was Sagwana, goddess of the Seine, the river in which the boat procession took place. She was meant to be the representation of the Olympic spirit and of Sagwana. If some of you weren't too busy trying to enter the Department of Education, you might know this. Loosen the clutch on your pearls. Yours truly, Ladies Francis. Paris is back on its feet, jubilant, flamboyant, creative, and open free. Thomas Jolly, the artistic director. And I just want to say I do apologize for butchering those names. I should definitely learn how to start pronouncing names before I start recording videos for them. And yes, what are the drag queens that post the following on the Instagram? Oh yes, the new Gay Testament. Now, in my opinion, I think this is more of them just responding to the whole conservative Christian backlash that they've been receiving over the whole opening ceremony. And then this is them just going full on mocking the shit out of Christians out. This is just a full on fuck you. So yeah, they did post this, but this was not the whole thing. This is just them responding to the hate that they've been receiving. And yeah, that is it for this video. And in my opinion, no crimes committed. No, actually, I lie. There was definitely a crime committed. The biggest crime of the Paris Olympics is the South African team's uniform. I mean, what the fuck is this shit? I mean, look how bland and uninspired this looks. It looks like there was a sales at Ackerman's and they just went for the cheapest ass chinos that they could find. There was no effort put in this. This is very low fucking effort. And I mean, we've had some beautiful freaking opening ceremony uniforms in the past. I mean, let's look at the 2020 Olympics, for instance. I mean, look how good this shit looks. It looks like they fucking own land. It looks like after a couple of brunners and brivos, they're gonna start moaning about the white genocide here in South Africa and how the ANC is secretly plotting to kill all the white people. And how sad that they are that they can't pay Vusi anymore, even though they own all the fucking land. I mean, look at those fallies. Look at those shorts. Look at those beautiful zebra shirts. I mean, that is a proper opening ceremony uniform. Absolutely gorgeous. In fact, it is so beautiful. Jan and Jan would be honestly so proud. And yeah, that is it for this video. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate for those who stuck around. Yeah, that is it for this video. And please remember to give your Christian friend a Christian side hug, because they are definitely needing it in these very trying times for them. Thanks for watching. This is Zonda, signing off.
Give me that Christian side hug, that Christian side hug. Give me that Christian side hug, that Christian